Ever since I was little, my parents always told me that there were certain tools that could be super beneficial, but if used incorrectly, they could be super harmful. So for instance, like a stovetop, it can be used super beneficially to make delicious and yummy foods, but it can also be used incorrectly if you put your hand on a hot burner. And that's something that I want to talk about today. Social media and your phone can be a whole lot like a hot burner, and usually if you put your hand on something hot and it burns you, your first instinct is to pull back. But I'm going to tell you today that social media and your phone can also act like that, but yet we don't always have the same instinct. So the goal of my speech today is to change the way that you view your phone and spend time on it. It's something that's burning you, but usually you don't even know it. According to the Pew Research Center, 96% of Americans own cell phones. It's a common thing. Everybody has one. And 72% of people use social media of some form. Now, cell phones are incredibly impressive, innovative, and amazing, but they can also be destructive and manipulative. These issues can be fixed by limiting the use and increasing awareness of how your phone is using you more than you're using it. So today I'm going to highlight some steps, boundaries, and limits that you can in place to solve these problems like distraction, poor mental health, or manipulation. So I don't know about you, but have you ever gotten a notification on a Sunday morning that pops up and tells you how much time you've averaged on your phone this week? I have, and usually it saddens me greatly, and it's usually super surprising. I don't know if you've ever been surprised by how much time you spend on your phone, but the average amount of time that someone spends on their phone a day is over 4 hours. And 2 of those hours are usually spent on the top 5 social networking sites, which include Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube. 80 to 90% of 18 to 50-year-olds are on one sort of social media site. They're a great place to waste your time. And I don't know if your screen time has ever surprised you, but it always surprises me. Time just seems to slip through your fingers when you're on social media. But not only is social media a time waste sometimes, but it's also causing a dilemma. It's causing a mental health dilemma. So by that, in a study of 5,000 people, they say that social media led to a decline of mental health, physical health, and life satisfaction. We're not meant to handle the dopamine that notifications can bring, and just the distractedness that having a cell phone and getting constant notifications can bring. But it also manipulates you. On your cell phone and every social media app, there are algorithms that know exactly what bothers you, what will get you to keep clicking, stay looking at something. They know what draws you in. And this usually can lead you down a path that you might not even want to in the first place. 64% of Facebook users have joined an extremist Facebook group when they didn't even want to. Like, algorithms led them there. Social media can also lead to unhealthy mental state and unnoticed manipulation. In the movie, The Social Dilemma, that just came out this year, it's created by ex-higher-ups at tech companies like Google and Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and all these people that created these great social media platforms that we use. And they discuss the manipulation and the algorithms involved and how your phone just wants to draw you in. Now, the only way to limit these ramifications is to be aware and actively set boundaries for yourself. So, the first step to solving this problem is awareness. It's key. So first off, you need to understand your time wasters. Where do you usually spend most of your time? What apps do you spend your time on? Where does your time usually go when you're on your phone? And by doing this, you can set screen time limits, where you can put all your social media apps in a group and say you can only spend 30 minutes a day on them. Or you can set downtime limits, where you turn off your phone from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., where you're not getting any distractions or notifications. Or if you want to take it extra, you can even turn your phone on airplane mode at nighttime or when you're trying to go to bed so you don't have any incoming distractions. I know social media is incredibly popular and I love social media, but you can also delete it. I know that's crazy in our culture, it seems, but if you're finding that you're unhappy with the way that you're spending time, where you get off Facebook or Instagram more discouraged or disappointed, think about deleting it. Another way to turn off the manipulation is to turn off notifications. By doing this, you get to choose when you pick up your phone, and you're not letting any notification or distraction tell you when you need to pick it up. So if you choose how you use your phone, then you get to choose instead of it choosing how it uses you. And awareness also leads to less unknowns. Then you know where you spend your time and where it goes, so at the end of the day, you're not surprised when you spent time on your phone or what you did on it. And limiting notifications can lead to more focused. You get to control your notifications and when you get to pick it up. So if you set boundaries for your phone and for yourself, you will be better emotionally and mentally. It produces more productivity, positivity, and less distractions. You'll feel better because of it. But if you don't, it can lead to poor mental health or just distractions. The average number of notifications that we get every day is 63. That means 63 times every day your phone is like, hey, you should pick me up. Hey, this is important. But if you turn them off, you won't know them. In a study with participants where they encouraged participants to turn off all their notifications for 24 hours, these participants loved it and they have continued that ever since. So just something to think about. If you don't turn off your phone though and turn off your notifications and limit yourself, it can lead to more depression, unhappiness, comparison, or time wasting. Things like phones, if you don't control them, they will control you. Drug companies and technology companies are the only companies that call their consumers users. And I'll just leave that little fact out there for you to ponder. So one thing with your phone is you need to know the content that draws you in and how it uses it. In the movie The Social Dilemma, where it's all these high people in tech companies, they don't even use the technology that they created. And that should tell you something. They're addictive and they like to play off of your emotions. Now, although phones have great potential for connection and usage, they can often lead to worse mental health, manipulation, or distraction. But if used with awareness and boundaries, by using screen time notifications, downtime limits, deleting apps, turning off your notifications, or putting down your phone, you can prevent these things. Now, if you're not convinced, you should watch the movie The Social Dilemma. It's highly inspirational and it provides all the facts to back up this argument. But social media can be used for good when limited and has boundaries. Your phone can be an asset and a tool, but make sure you're using it instead of letting it use you.